So you just got into PC gaming. You came from console, you started playing on PC, or you may even come from different type of game like League of Legends or Dota. You join a game and you see all those guys with insanely high accuracy, and you start asking yourself, am I also capable of achieving that? Short answer? Yes, you are. And this tutorial will explain everything you need to know to beat those guys. So yeah, let's get started. Starting from the beginning, in order to get high accuracy, you need solid mouse and solid mousepad. And no, this video is not going to be about the best mouse or mousepad for Battlefield games. I just wanted to mention that fact because there are new players out there who just joined PC gaming community and they might not know that you actually need gaming mouse in order to succeed in gaming actually. So yeah, keep that in mind. By the way, if you are one of these new players out there, I suggest you go to Rocket Jump Ninja channel. I will leave the link down in the description. He does the best mice reviews on the internet in my opinion, so make sure to check that out because it's definitely worth it. Okay, so let's say you got your mouse, you got your mousepad, everything is ready and perfect, but you got all those settings that you need to go through in order to get your mouse ready to play. If you are new to PC gaming, you have to know that there are at least 3 ways to change your sensitivity. First we will talk about DPI, which is basically the sensitivity of your mouse that is set in the mouse. And what I mean by that is that you change all those settings in the software for your mouse or physically on the mouse if you have the mouse that doesn't require software. So basically there are 3 things that you have to know about setting up your DPI. First thing is that your DPI can't be too high, and it is better to have lower DPI and higher sensitivity in game than having like 4000 DPI and 2% in game or even 0%. And the reason for that is that the mouse operates its best at the native sensitivity of its sensor. Most of them have native resolution of 400 DPI, so keep that in mind, but you should check it out for your own mouse just to make sure. But then you will think, yeah, 400 DPI, it might be okay for gaming, but then you have incredibly low DPI in your desktop, and yeah, I felt the same way, so I'm playing 800 DPI. And why 800? Why not 900 or 1000? Because again, your mouse operates its best at its native sensor DPI. And it also does when you multiply this native sensor DPI. So let's say you have 400 of native DPI, you multiply that by 2, you have 800. You multiply that by 3, you have 1200. And you know how the math goes. Well, all of that is just to prevent pixel skipping of your mouse. Basically, if you go too high with your sensor sensitivity, it will just mess up and you just do not want to do that. I know if you are not professional player or you're not having this high level gameplay, you might probably not notice that, but there is reason why all professional players stick with low sensitivity. Another thing that you need to know about is your mouse pulling rate. And what pulling rate is, it's basically the frequency at which your mouse and computer communicate together. You just set it on 1000, there is nothing more to talk about. All modern PC and peripherals support 1000 Hz refresh rate, so there is no reason behind it not to go for it. And that's basically all you need to know about pulling rate. I'm not going to talk about Windows sensitivity settings. You go to your control settings in Battlefield 1, you turn on raw mouse input, and you basically avoid all Windows sensitivity settings. They will not mess up with your aim. The sensitivity will basically be directly taken from your mouse, so Windows has nothing to talk about here. And if you have ever came across an opinion saying that the raw mouse input has negative effect on your mouse, trust me, it doesn't. Nothing has been ever proven there is no solid proof that it does, so just keep it on and forget about Windows settings. And the last thing that we need to talk about is the actual sensitivity setting in game. I have it on 3% as you see for infantry, and the reason for that is I like to remain accurate at distance. It's also way easier to snipe and hit headshots with lower sensitivity. If you want to go higher, there is absolutely no problem with that, but you have to remember that if you go higher, you trade off your accuracy with being faster. Again, I feel like that's enough to remain fast enough to counter enemies from behind or from the sides, and also remain accurate. Just remember that there is no such thing as golden sensitivity setting that will work for everyone. If you even look at professional players, every one of them is playing on different sensitivity. Some go higher, some go lower. Just figure out your own sensitivity, the one that fits you, lets you play comfortable and makes you effective, and that's pretty much all in this part. However, if you came from previous Battlefield title, you might notice that your aiming down sight sensitivity is a little bit higher. I don't know why it does, but I think the reason for that is because of the new animations and character movement. I have it set to 90%. I don't know if it exactly matches BF4's aiming down sight sensitivity, but it feels the same for me. Also, if you go to controls and then advanced tab, you have the settings for each scope variant and each vehicle in the game, as well as stationary weapon. If you wonder what this uniform aiming sensitivity does, it basically matches the sensitivity across all the scopes. I don't have it enabled, I don't recommend using it, but if you would like to have it enabled and match the sensitivity across all the scopes, then yeah, sure, go on. And that's basically it for this part of the tutorial. There will be part 2 where I will explain everything that you need to know about countering your weapon's recoil spread, best movement for highest accuracy. I hope you enjoyed, leave a like if you did, make sure to subscribe to get notified about part 2. I'm also preparing to make a tutorial about winning every 1v1 fight with your opponent, so stay tuned for that, and until then, see you on the battlefield.